What's up, everybody? So, we always talk about having a plan. Here's this chair. I got a plan to fix that thing. Anyways, WD-40 or something. Having a plan for depending on what it is that you're doing, you need to have a direction in which to go. And one of the things I'm always trying to do is put stuff in multiple places. We'll say like a cache. Some people say cache. And having just enough in some spots and having bigger caches off to the side would probably be all right. But I like to do a lot of 5-gallon buckets. And this was one of the things I was going to show you. These are those vault lids. Everybody's probably seen them. I got this one at the... here, you can read it here. It's a gamma sealed water or leak proof protection. You ain't gonna be able to read that on there. Anyways, this fits 5-gallon buckets, and it's really simple. First off, when you take all your stuff and you're gonna put something underground, we'll say, one of the questions I hear a lot is, how deep do you go underground? Well, depending on where you live, might make a big difference too. I know here, we've got to be like 3 feet or so underground. Doesn't have a quick solution for grabbing stuff at that depth. There's some other ways of doing things, but say we're just going to do caches underground for now. This ring, you can see it's got in there a, geez, I can't even think, a seal. So this snaps onto your bucket, boom, nice and tight. It's real tight. I don't have another bucket with me. The other one I have already moved. And then this lid, pretty simple. Now, like I said before, getting this stuff out is not always the easiest, but all you have to do is turn it. And I usually, you know, they say tight is tight, too tight's broke, but I usually crank these down pretty hard just to make sure. And there's, on these ones, you don't really have to put it. I know if you wanted to get crazy, it's already got a seal on it. And this right here has a seal too. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I just pulled it off of there. Pop it back up there real quick. But there's a seal right here too. So, double sealed. Turns on there pretty easy. You could get crazy and put some Teflon tape or something on there if you really wanted to. I haven't noticed any moisture in the stuff that I have left out. I haven't had any issue really whatsoever. So locks in there pretty tight. There's like a turner. That seal right there sticks to the bucket. So then it's a pain in the butt to get off too. So before you do it, and I get food grade buckets, before you do it, make sure you want it on there. It's just a pain in the butt to take off. But this part here, now that I tightened it, it's a little easier to turn too, maybe when you get it on a bucket. But, and I think these things have gone up a little bit since the last few that I bought. This is the last one I got left to put on another bucket. But as far as 5-gallon buckets, how can you go wrong? You can put a lot of stuff in a 5-gallon bucket. Think of what you could get. A couple freeze-dried foods. You could put a water filter in there, so you had a way to filter it out to make your freeze-dried food. You could leave a couple already loaded magazines in there if you needed to. It's just where you're gonna put it, what you're trying to do with it, and having that plan of maybe here's my main location. If we get knocked out of this bug out location because we were overran or something, it's not like you're gonna be able to stop every single thing that comes to you, right? So you have to have a plan to get out. If you have a fallback spot, even if it was 300 yards out, you had someone notify you ahead of time, and you're just like, this is like an overwhelming force that's coming in, and you're just pulling out, trying to get back. You go back 300 yards, we'll say, and you have a backup spot. Well, if you find out ahead of time because someone spotted ahead of time or you heard or anything, and you could fall back, you'd have time to dig something like that out. I've seen a lot of people use the PVC, but depending on how big you get, depends on how much you could put in there, and they're starting to get expensive. These, I think when I got most of them, they were around $5. I think they're 7 or 8 or something. I might try to find a link on Amazon for something like that. Throw it down in the description for you. But the PVC pipes, and then you get both capped ends. Yeah, you could put a lot of food. You could leave magazines in there. Pretty much anything you think you're gonna need. A map. Food and water are like your big things, and a way to defend yourself are pretty much your main things. You don't want just 10,000 rounds sitting around your house. And in the position I'm in right now, I'm looking to move, hopefully in the next couple months, fairly quickly anyways. And I don't want to just keep stacking food right now, but I still want to be able to get some, so I'm putting them in all different spots. But you need stuff that's either long-term, because it's going to be underground. It's probably going to be the best thing, because you're probably only going to go back to that spot when you need to. So a lot of 30-year shelf life stuff. I mean, you could get a couple of bags of Mountain House even, and I think on Amazon they're a little bit cheaper than at the store where I'm at. I might even see if I can't find a link for Amazon Mountain House or something like that. Try to throw that down in a link if I remember all this. But the food grade buckets, you're gonna be all right. When do you think stuff's gonna happen, and what are you trying to leave in there? And being, I believe it was 3 feet underground. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I think the top of the bucket has to be around 3 foot or something underground to keep that temperature difference, so everything inside the bucket's not freezing. It's kind of a one temperature all year round. That's a cool, dry, dark spot, so stuff should last. You should get your time out of that. Where these buckets I bought this year are good until 2051. So 2051, hopefully you never even had to dig them up. And some stuff I would recommend you let your friends know too. People in your group. It doesn't mean you first meet someone like, hey, I got 10 different spots. I got stuff buried from here to on my way out. And then, I mean, if you had to bug out an hour away and you had 5 different spots that you put stuff along the way, you might think it's kind of risky. You don't want to lose all your stuff, but at the same time, you'd have it if you need it. Even if you needed to stop and get one or none even, and then ended up making it to your spot, and 2 years goes by or something, and now you're completely out of food or whatever, and you're like, man, I could go back part way and pick up one of those caches. It's a good thing to have, is basically what I'm saying here. And this is an easy way for me. And another thing about this is you could take these two, already sealed up, everything's good. Grab yourself some Contractor bags. I love the big, thick, I don't even know what they are, 5-8 mil, whatever it is, Contractor bag. And you could take that bucket and put it inside a Contractor bag. Tie it off or leave it on a side or something. However you want to do this. And you could, on the bucket handle, have a, like say a piece of paracord or something, which is probably going to rot away. Might be better off with like the lead coated or the plastic coated copper. Wow. The lead wire with the copper coating sticking up. You just don't want anybody to find it necessarily, but it might get you back to your spot quicker, help you yank stuff out. Of course, you're going to need a digging tool. You could always leave a digging tool off to the side in the plastic, whatever. I mean, everything you put into the buckets, too. I don't try not to make this video too long, but everything you put into the buckets, maybe I'll videotape one of the next ones that I put out. We'll see about that. But you can vacuum seal any of your stuff, too, before you put it into the bucket, if you're just extra paranoid or something. I mean, I do some of that, or I'll take like the gallon Ziploc baggies and you try to get like 4 or 5 loaded mags in there, throw them in, a couple Mountain Houses, maybe a water filter, a ferrocerium rod, stuff like that, or just straight up lighters or matches. You can get like the Dollar Tree matches. These ones are strike on box, okay, whatever. But it's just it doesn't matter. You're gonna put in each spot what you think you're gonna need in that specific route, I guess you'd say. Or if you have a nice pile of land and your fallout spot is still on your land, maybe put it first one to the fallout spot. You know you're really screwed. Now you put the first one 300 yards off. Now we're gonna put it the next one like 1,000 yards off or something like that. I mean, make sure you know where all your stuff is. I wouldn't leave a detailed map for everybody to know about, but say you got a favorite tree and you know it's right off to the right of that when you're running away from your house, or just trying to give you an idea of a way that might be easier for you to find your stuff again. But as far as caches go, I've not done a video on this yet that I think I and myself personally, I like to leave stuff everywhere. I almost got the least amount of stuff on me because I know I'm leaving. I don't want to leave 5, 10, 20, however many ammo cans I might have sitting in one spot that I'm going to have to leave with. I'd rather have 5, 5, 5, 5. And you can fit inside a 5-gallon bucket. You could fit one of the smaller ammo cans. Let me see if I got one like this. You could stick that in there, right? It's not that big. This is the 7.62 ones, right? They're not that big. That will fit inside of a 5-gallon bucket. See that? No problem. You can still have food on one side. You can still have, you know, just in case you didn't want to vacuum seal or something like that. I know some people that actually use the ammo cans and bury the ammo cans. And they'll do like the same thing too. They might put it inside of a garbage bag or something like that. Or, you know, maybe they'll triple it up on the contractor bags. Now you got a whole ammo can. Those ones I believe I have 7 mags in loaded with some extra 50 round boxes in addition to. And it would be easy enough to put that as a cache itself. But alright, this was just a quick talk. Yeah, quick talk. Just some thoughts. I always say it that way on caches. And do I think you should have them? I would say yes. You ever heard the saying, don't keep all your eggs in one basket? And pretty much it doesn't matter how badass you are with that. 20 people come up first, then 30 people, then 50 people. I mean, how much can you really do without having to fall back and hide? At least if you were falling back to a position that was under cover of some sort, or at least concealment of some sort, where you had enough time to dig something back out, I think you're going to be in a better off situation. You're going to want to tell, you know, trustworthy people in a group or something like that, or your family, like, hey, listen, if something happens to me, if you kick back to the other spot, here's where it is. You'll at least have food for the next 3 days, or you'll at least have, or then you could say, maybe you set it up as a string, you know, if you keep going every 300 yards, you're going to find another one straight down this line right here. At least someone knows about it. And then you might want to have, depending on how crazy and screwed up stuff goes, is a couple off to the side that nobody knows about but you. But at the same time, you get back into that thing where you're like, you know, you want your kids to have something if you're not there or something. So, yeah, that was a little long-winded. If it's your first time here, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, even if it's not your first time here, and subscribe if it's your first time here. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you, I don't know. Let me know what you think. How about we go that way? As far as I'm concerned, I definitely think the caches are worth the time. I definitely think that there is a good value in having that plan of what if, because a lot of people don't, you know, they're like, look, here's my my prepper pantry and it's all stocked to the roof. Okay, fire. Okay, water damage. So water damage might be better than the fire damage, but okay, 40 marauders while you're sleeping. Same thing. If you're probably gonna want to get out. So now they have a real nice prepper pantry, and you're stuck with whatever you have in your car, maybe, or your garage, or a shed, or something like that. But you didn't put any caches out. And I was gonna get to another topic there. Okay. Have a great night, and I will see you soon.